All right, good Tuesday morning, everybody. We are live here on KENS 5, talking about a few showers out west. Some heavy downpours overnight resulted in some flash flooding along the Frio and along the Nueces River. Just want to double check audio is working A-OK before we get started. Good Tuesday morning. It's a cloudy but dry start in San Antonio. A few clouds in the area and also a few breaks in the sky over Calaveras Lake, and also pretty clear out east of I-35 towards like Houston, Gonzales. It's really out west where the clouds and the rain is falling anywhere from Kerr County towards Rock Springs, which is the last place. Obviously, you know, rain needs to fall. They've received so much rainfall over the last couple of days, couple of weeks, and thankfully it's starting to come to an end. There is a flood watch in effect until 1 o'clock today, but that should expire because most of the rain should start to diminish in strength. There will be some spotty activity in the afternoon hours, but the bulk of rainfall really fell early this morning, like pre-dawn hours, and then right now it's moving farther north and northwest away from us. There's downtown San Antonio. Take a live look with that picture right there, and also a couple of different TransGuide cameras. There's 1604 at Marbach, for example. A couple of breaks in the sky out there as well. There's I-10, as you can see a couple of areas of congestion along the ramp there, and there's I-37 at Houston looking pretty good. 85 degrees, 85 at Elmendorf, 81 a little cooler out to our south and east. You can see flood watches remain posted for Bexar County and the remaining area of the Hill Country, even out towards the Rio Grande, like Eagle Pass, and towards Maverick County, Kidney County, and Valverde County. Now, this is in effect until 1, so in the next few hours, this will likely expire at that time. Now, with that being said, over across the Hill Country is where the leftover rain is. Whatever's left of this system is moving off north and really diminishing in strength. You can see over Kerr County, Gillespie County, heads up for anyone in Fredericksburg between Harper, Highway 290, for example. Kerrville seeing a downpour right over Kerrville and I-10, right there. And 173, there's Center Point, there's Comfort, there's more scattered rain across Gillespie County. We'll put this into motion and show you what this is. All moving in from the south and west. But again, now the atmosphere is just, you know, all juiced out. I mean, we had so much rain overnight, especially between Uvalde, Camp Wood, Concan, towards Bandera County and Kerr County. Thankfully, now this is coming to an end. And superimposed on this is cloud cover, satellite imagery. And you're seeing anywhere east of San Antonio, even parts of Bexar County, seeing a lot of the sunshine now break through those low to mid-level clouds in the atmosphere. Rita, good morning. Absolutely, you're very welcome. Absolutely. And if you have any questions, comment down below. Join the conversation. We'll be live for the next 15 to 20 minutes here on KENS 5. Just talking about the radar, talking about rain totals, where the flood warnings remain for the next several hours. Those are mostly going to be west, so the Frio, from, you know, Concan, east of Uvalde, down to Dilley, down I-35, towards like the Live Oak County area, and then also another flood warning, which we'll show you in a second, for the Nueces River, and that's going to be west of Uvalde. It's still in Uvalde County, but that saw a ton of rainfall this morning, and that resurgence of moisture just led to impassable roads, high water spots. We even saw some reports of flooded roads along Highway 55, I believe. That was northwest of Uvalde. So that's a concern. But as you can see, radar, it's starting to quiet down. That's the good news. We're getting a much needed break. Hopefully in the next coming hours, there's still some leftover rain out near Gillespie County and Kerr County. Matter of fact, here it is zoomed in. There's Ingram, there's Hunt, and there's Fredericksburg and Harper right there. So pockets of moderate to heavy rain in this part of the Hill Country. Most of anything that was near Camp Wood and Lakey and Utopia earlier this morning has weakened. There's just some leftover sprinkles, and that's pretty much it. This flood warning remains in effect for the next 11 minutes. This is technically in effect until 10:30 a.m. I believe the Weather Service will let this expire for the time being, just because of how the radar is shaping up. Most of the rain will come to an end, and that's the good news. Now, zooming in, this is a flood warning for the Guadalupe River. This has been in effect for a while, but this should remain in effect until tomorrow morning. All the rain that passed through earlier today may aggravate it a little bit. That may lead to a brief rise in the Guadalupe River between Hunt and Kerrville. If anything, I mean, we can get some details on this. I would expect minor to maybe moderate flood stage for this particular area. So let's take a look. So this is again for the Guadalupe River at Hunt. And let's see. So this is the river flood warning. Let's see. Yeah, moderate flooding is expected. So just to put into perspective, at 12 feet, the Guadalupe River at Hunt specifically, moderate flooding can reach Highway 39, 2 miles east of Hunt, preventing any easy travel. At 8 o'clock last night, the stage was at 12 feet. And Monday, 13 feet. I'm just reading up a little bit more. Yeah, so I think if anything, minor to moderate flood stage is expected for the Guadalupe River at Hunt specifically. This is not extending down to Center Point or Comfort. It's really in this highlighted area, this polygon, is where we could see the river rise a little bit, but again, just to reiterate, minor to moderate flood stage. We're not expecting anything major west of Kerrville. But the rain that fell earlier this morning obviously is going to pertain to that flood warning. And that's in effect until tomorrow at 5 a.m. is when it could expire, just depending on how much it rises, and we'll have to watch that very closely. Some additional flood warnings. This is for the Nueces River at Laguna. So this was causing some high water areas, street flooding, impassable roads along Highway 55. This is in effect until 10:40 tonight. So we may see a fluctuation between, action to minor to moderate flood stage. But again, that's in effect until 10:30 tonight. Southeast of Uvalde, this is for the Frio River. This is in effect until 9:18 tonight. Obviously, you can see radar is layered on. There's no rain falling over this area. It's drying out. But with all the rain for the last 24 hours, I mean, anywhere from 5 to 10 inches in this area that fueled and funneled into the Frio River, that can cause it to rise. And again, minor to moderate flood stage for the Frio River as it extends just north of Dilley. Remember, the Frio extends all the way through this part of the county area and then it goes all the way down to Live Oak County. It doesn't go all the way to the Gulf. The Frio stops, I believe, somewhere in Live Oak County, between there and McMullen County. But anyway, minor to moderate flood stage for the Frio River, so we're going to keep a close eye on that as well. Good morning, Paula. Good morning, Maria. Absolutely, you're very welcome. If you guys have any questions, comment down below. So we have an alert set for this morning. I would say after 1 o'clock, this will expire. The flood watch should expire. We'll watch that closely, though. This afternoon, a blend of sunshine and clouds. Some isolated activities possible this afternoon, but the majority and the bulk of rainfall fell this morning, and especially before sunrise. Drying trend, thankfully, by tomorrow, Thursday. And for the rest of the week, rain chances finally coming down significantly. A lot of the models don't even paint out any rain in the area Wednesday and Thursday. So we do need a much needed break. It's been an active last 10 to 14 days, last couple of months, and now we're getting a much needed break. But again, this morning, a flood watch continues until 1. That should be allowed to expire from the Weather Service. Some spotty activity into the afternoon, but most of the action was this morning. 96 Wednesday, 96 Thursday. Here's what the next couple of hours could look like. Anywhere from Del Rio, Carrizo Springs, Eagle Pass towards Edwards and Real County. A couple of more isolated downpours. It's possible. It's definitely possible. But from what we're seeing on the radar, a lot of that is coming to an end. Through the evening, some isolated activity between San Antonio, Bernie, Hondo, Kerrville. So we're going to keep a close eye on that. I do want to go over, so that was one aggressive model from what we're, because it didn't even initialize well. Let's take a look at another forecast model. Going through 1 o'clock today, a couple of isolated showers with the help of daytime heating. So San Antonio, 30% coverage on afternoon spotty downpours. But most of the heavier rain, the flooding rain, is pretty much done with out west. Tonight, quiet, and tomorrow morning, temperatures middle 70s and overall clearing conditions. And we do need that, that's for sure. From Javier, I'm on the Frio close to Lakey. Do you think we could get a rise in the river? Let me clarify that real quick. I think if anything along the Frio, minor to moderate flooding is expected, but nothing major. That's the big takeaway for the Frio. We were talking about the flood warning that's in effect until tonight for the Frio River. The good news, over the Frio right now, as of this hour, as of 10:25 a.m. Tuesday morning, all the activity has come to an end. There's only some leftover showers out near Kerr County, but a lot of that is weakening, and we're looking at clearing conditions for the rest of the morning and afternoon. Let's see, National Weather Service river flooding. Let's just take a look at some of the data and show you what we have, and show you some of the updates here on KENS 5. So let's see. So again, there's a couple of different flood warnings. One for the Nueces River, that's at Laguna. That was earlier this morning experiencing high water areas, street flooding along Highway 55, and some impassable roads. So that's where the concern was really centralized in our western counties. Western Uvalde County was the bulk of rain that happened this morning. And also towards Concan in northeastern Uvalde County, Real and Edwards County, they saw an additional like 1 to 4 inches of rain this morning on top of what they saw yesterday. It created a flash flooding situation. So specifically, let's take a look at the Frio. The latest observation at the Frio, the dry Frio near Uvalde, for example. So this is east of Uvalde. Latest observation, 7.8 feet. Flood stage is 12 feet, so it remains under the flood stage. It is expected to rise slightly, so from 7 to about 10, 11 feet. That's the forecast from the Weather Service. So I would say worst case scenario, it rises for about a couple of feet through the next couple of hours. But from what we're seeing, obviously this is a fluid situation. From what we're seeing, the latest observation as of 8:30 a.m., a couple of hours ago, 7.8 to about 8.5 feet on the latest observation, and it's forecasted to crest around 11 feet later this morning. So keeping a close eye on that, but that's just very minor flooding. That's not moderate to major, that's minor flooding along the Frio near Uvalde. Towards Dilley, not much of a concern. Let's see, towards Concan, right here. The latest observation on the Frio River at Concan was 7.1 feet, and it's forecasted to go up to about 8.6 feet over the next 1 to 2 hours. So a brief rise, but even at that, if it potentially goes up to 8 feet, that's not up to minor nor moderate flood stage. That's just at that action flood stage, which can again cause fast running water and problems along the Frio. But in terms of moderate to major flooding, not expecting that. So to put your mind at ease, the Frio and the Nueces River all experiencing some high water areas, but by and large, a lot of this is improving as the cresting continues between 8 and 13 feet, and that's all below moderate flood stage. How full is the Canyon Lake Reservoir right now? Let me take a look, Lawrence. A couple months ago, it was down to like 42%, and then last I checked, it was somewhere near 65%. Let me take a look at the data real quick. Water data for Texas. I know Medina Lake was at like 2%, now it's at 5%, so hey, that's a pretty big jump, pretty decent jump at least. Okay, for Canyon Lake. Latest data on Canyon Lake as of this morning, it is 64.7% full, mean water level at 890 feet, and conservation is at 307, it's acre per feet. So 890 feet, and it's 64.7% full. 6 months ago, it was 49% full. So last 6 months, pretty good trend for Canyon Lake, that's for sure. And by the way, I saw a video earlier of Lake Buchanan releasing water, because Lake Buchanan, that's northwest of Marble Falls, northwest of Lake Travis. They were nearing their conservation level. They're probably like, 7 to 8, maybe 9 feet away from the conservation level. And at that time, at that level, they'll release water downstream. And I think we'll have to watch Marble Falls and anywhere near Lake Travis for some of that water to trickle down, because that goes all downstream, and that could be a concern near Marble Falls. From Maryland, Lakey, let's take a look, and we'll be done, and we'll have another update on KENS 5 News at noon in about an hour and a half. Again, guys, flood watch in effect until 1 p.m., but that should expire given the radar trend. There are a couple of scattered showers out there, you can see as I zoom out, but this is mostly over Gillespie County, stopping the clock right there. between Harper, Stonewall, Fredericksburg, a couple of downpours out there. But notice as I zoom out, for example, Lakey and Utopia, Camp Wood, while all this area saw heavy rain yesterday and this morning, all this is now coming to an end for the time being. There will be some spotty activity into the afternoon, but the heavier widespread rain, the flooding rain, should come to an end. And I think the flood watch will expire at 1 o'clock. So we'll keep a close eye on that, and we'll keep you updated and posted here on KENS 5. All right, guys, one more look at the flood warnings. So minor to moderate flood stage at best along the Frio and along the Nueces River, which is the one on the left, and the one on the right is the Frio River from Uvalde down towards Pearsall and north of Dilley. Minor to moderate flood stage, not expecting anything major. Just because of all the rain that fell yesterday and this morning, that's why the flood warning is in effect until this evening between 9 p.m. and 7. Also, this one for the Nueces is in effect until tomorrow morning at 7:49. That includes La Pryor, Crystal City, parts of Uvalde County down to, again, east of Maverick County. So watching that for any high water areas to fluctuate. But again, minor to moderate flood stage in both those rivers. And what's left of this system, this rain-making system, is all weakening and diminishing in strength between Junction, Mason, Brady, Llano, Fredericksburg, Gillespie County, and towards Kerr County. There is a leftover flood warning for any additional rain that forms between now and tonight. Isolated activity, that could just make things worse. But again, most of the activity formed this morning, and we'll start to see things really improve by this afternoon. And even by tomorrow and Thursday. I think drying trend is going to be the big story as temperatures go up and rain chances go down. And we really want that. We need a break from all this rain. It's been pretty active for the last couple of weeks, that's for sure. In San Antonio, we saw flooding in June, and now July. Obviously, the floods have been across the hill country, central Texas. It's just been an active couple of months, and we need a break to recover, especially for the search and rescue missions, the ongoing efforts across the hill country, volunteers that are helping out in Kerr County, all that. We need a break from the rain, and the last couple of days have just been another resurgence of rain, but thankfully, as you can see on the 14-day, it starts to dry out. 96 tomorrow, 96 Thursday, and then rain chances trend down, and temperatures go up to 98 to 99 Saturday and Sunday. Have the KENS 5 weather app. It is free. Download it free today. You'll have notifications, push alerts in the palm of your hand for any weather that gets active in our local viewing area, anywhere from San Antonio to Austin to Uvalde to Del Rio to the Hill Country to Kerrville, Fredericksburg. We'll have the latest forecast and timeline for you here on KENS 5. Have a great Tuesday, guys. Be safe and stay weather aware. Flood watch continues until 1 o'clock today. Watching out for the potential for a couple of isolated storms, but